Hi, this is Paul from TrainworX, obviously. Today we're going to do a tutorial on the operation for the HVZ-D, also known as Lion shuttle. This shuttle is, I think there are about, I don't know, I've read it somewhere, about 20 of those, both in 6 and 10 carriages. And they are used during rush hour to alleviate some of the pressure on the other trains, as extra trains really, in and around Zurich area and up to the north of Zurich. I thought, while I already created an RE420 or several RE420s, it would be logical to also create the Lion. Obviously, I had to create the coaches, and had to make some changes on the RE420s, which in the end was a lot more work than I thought, because there are quite some things different on the Lion versions of the RE420. Not only on the outside of the log body, but also obviously in the cab. So. Furthermore, the project was delayed because of the work I wanted to do to incorporate the Rivet Games subsystem in the existing trains. So that took about 6 months to do. So that's why it took so long to finally get to a release date on this. But I think it came out pretty good. But I'll let you be the judge of that, obviously. And what I want to do now is go through some of the basic operations, because it is, again, not easy to drive. It's not like you just throw 2 switches and you're off. You need to do separate special operations to get it going. Anyway, let's start a quick drive scenario with the Lion Pendelzug. I'm using my test route, which I created a long time ago. So anyway, this is the new cab. This is the outside of the train. Obviously, front and rear is an RE420, special Lion version, and in between there are the coaches, both B and AB types, and they normally, if I'm correct, I think the normal situation is that that it is a B, an AB, B, B, AB, B again. That's for the 6 coaches variant. Anyway, if we want to start up the engine, there are actually 2 ways of doing that. First is do everything manual, and secondly, there is a shortcut with the famous Ctrl-Shift-S keys, which will start up, well, 90% of everything you need to do. But we'll start with doing this manually. First thing we'll do is open this BV-Hahn, is it called in German. I don't exactly know the English term for that, but it has to do with getting the brake system operational. And after we have done that, we can unlock the panel. This is the C panel. We need to unlock, and it actually is a mechanical unlock for these switches that we now want to switch on. So we'll start with the Steuerstrom, then we'll put on the pantograph, and we normally would be able to see the pantograph going up here and going up on the rear too. Then we'll switch on the main switch, compressor to automatic, and this switch is the Zugsammelschiene. That means whether or not this train is shuttle operated. I don't know the exact technology behind it, but I use it to set up the operation of both front and rear engines in a certain way, so that it will operate correctly in this Pendel situation, in this shuttle operation. So I'll switch that on too, and we then should be ready to go. So after we've done all this, we can look at the engine brake. We can turn that off, and we will put the train brake in Fahrstellung, which is like the release position, where it will be green here, and we can forward the reverser. So now what we see here is that Zugzwangmaschine, so the shuttle service is on. The doors are active but not opened. If we want to open the door, I've tried again to use the keys or the switches for that, which is a pain in the ass really to do that. So we just used the T for doing that. See if we can go here, press the T, and the doors should open. We are, and while we do that, we're gonna look here on this iPad. If we just move it up and down, so we grab it, move it up and down, we can go through the several fireplanen, so schedules, and I've added some schedules which are not actually built yet in Train Simulator, but it's let me see if I can switch in a little bit. But the train is operational on these stretches, so we'll go through here to Zürich Hauptbahnhof, and then the other way, Zürich Hauptbahnhof, all the way to Aarau. Second one is obviously with the new Rivet Games Lake Constance route. I've added Kreuzlingen, Schaffhausen, and Schaffhausen Kreuzlingen to the ones. This is just the TrainworX logo. Then we go to the first Swiss route from Simtrain, SBB1 route, where we go from Paffikon all the way to Landkaart, and we should also go the other way around. So I've added that too. Then I've added like a reminder on how to manually start up the engine in 3 languages, and this is something about the Parkstellung, the parking position. So that's all on the iPad. The rest is not. I mean, you can obviously operate the blinds, and we can operate the mirrors. We've got the little Pendel mirror on this right side, operational too. So that's it. We've got this pedal. I've improved on that because I finally found out how that works. This whole thing was moving before, and now it's just the middle pedal. This is for the mirrors. This is something to do with loosening the brakes, which is not operational in this case. Anyway, most importantly, this is what we need to do. One thing that is good to know is that this is the cab light. This is instrument light. This is parking position. I will come to that part later. This H is actually in the real cab, it's not there. So that's a freedom I've taken, because on the Rivet Games routes, especially on Lake Constance route, there are stop by request operations integrated. And to just make it compatible with the Lion, I added this. So if somebody either in the coach or on the platform presses a button, this H will illuminate, and it means that you have to stop at the next station. So again, this is not in the real Lion, this one is not there, but I added that to make it a little bit more fun to play on those routes. Okay, enough about that. The brakes are loose, and I think we should be able to move on. Oh, lights is another thing. We've got a light switch here. See if I can make it a little bit more light. This is one red, one white. This is nothing, 3 whites and 3 reds. So normally on the front we will do 3 whites. This will operate the lamps on the side of the cab that you're in. So you can go to the back and switch that one to 1 red or 1 white or nothing, whatever you want to do. In this case it's nothing. In pendle operation, so in shuttle operation, it'll take care of those things automatically, but if you drive it as a separate train or a separate engine, you can set the lights to whatever you want. Okay, so finally I think we should be ready to move. So we will press the A where the firehable, the regulator, will move forward, and we'll switch to, I don't know, a couple of steps up, and then we will we'll drive off. We go in the cab. Here we go. Okay, I know that we have to go over a switch, and we will have to reduce our speed in a while. So, okay, press the Q to acknowledge that. This is the normal AWS system, which so Zoop is not operated now. I will come to that part later. Something new is an electro-pneumatic brake, so EP bremse. That is operated by the comma and dot and period switches. And we will just, we're a bit over speed. It's calculating a curve now. Well, it's not calculating a curve here. It will calculate a curve when Zoop is activated. But we were just going over speed. But we're fine now. Okay. So I think this will conclude this part of the tutorial videos, basic operations to get moving. In the next video I will also activate the Zoop and do an automatic start. That was it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. We covered a little bit of history, how I got to actually make this this shuttle train, a little bit of general information about the shuttle train, and the basic operations for setting up your engine in order to drive away. We have used the standard AWS system in this tutorial. There are other possibilities. First of all, there's a possibility for an automatic startup, which I will show you in part 2. Also, the Zoop system could be activated on Rivet Games routes that have Zoop magnets in it, and the train will respond to those magnets during the drive. So that and a little bit more in part 2 of this tutorial series. Thank you again for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.